everyone. This is The Wellness Project, powered by Spotlight Coalition. I'm your host, Des, and this is episode number 95. Episode 95. Welcome. We are so close to the big 100. We are just 5 episodes away. So exciting. I do not have a guest for today's episode. It's just going to be me, solo episode today, and we are going to be discussing mindful eating. I've been practicing working on mindfulness, and I really struggle with brain fog and not really being present in the moment. And I noticed that happens a lot when I'm eating as well. I'm definitely somebody that if I have food in front of me, I will just mindlessly eat it, especially if it's junk food. I'm a big junk food person. I have a big sweet tooth. So I noticed this even with just eating my lunch. I don't pay attention to if I'm hungry. I don't pay attention to if I'm full. I just kind of eat whatever's in front of me. I've never been on a diet before. I never buy low fat, low calorie foods intentionally. I've never been interested in having any sort of diet. I am vegetarian. I wouldn't say that's a diet as much as it is a lifestyle. Being on a diet never really appealed to me, but I do strive to eat healthy and decrease my sugar intake as well as decrease junk food, processed food, things like that. I love candy, I love cake, I love junk food. I could eat it all day, every day, and I would. Something I struggle with is that I have a hard time when it comes to having that self-control when it comes to eating junk food. I could eat a whole bag of candy without even thinking about it and then suffer the consequences of what I call a sugar headache. Whenever I eat a lot of sugar, I get a headache. So I don't know. I've had the idea that maybe I'm pre-diabetic. I don't know, but that's something that I should pay attention to, but I don't. I will just eat so much candy, so much cake, so much sugar that it gives me a headache and I get a stomach ache. So I started thinking about my relationship with food and my eating habits a lot due to this podcast and my guests. I've interviewed so many amazing women about the topics of eating disorders, disordered eating, our relationships with food, and how complicated those relationships can be. These conversations got me thinking about my own relationship with food and how it affects me and my life. So because of this, I've been practicing mindful eating. I've been trying to get more in tune to when I'm hungry versus when I'm thirsty versus when I'm just bored and mindlessly eating. I've been trying to pay attention to my cravings and what my body needs. And like recently, even just the other day, I felt like I was craving juice so much. And I never really drink juice because of the sugar, but I was craving juice so much. And I thought, I wonder if I'm in need of some sort of vitamin or something. So I'm just trying to pay more attention to my body and listen to it a lot more. Something I know about my body is that I really do well when I eat more fruits and veggies. That's when I feel really good, when I have fruit smoothies, things like that. I'm a vegetarian, so I do get a lot of veggies in, but I struggle to get as much fruit as I want in. So fruit smoothies are a really great way to do that. Something I struggle with is breakfast. Because I have a long commute and I'm not a morning person, I need something that's easy, something that's simple, something that's quick. So I often just go to instant oatmeal, which that has a lot of sugar. So I have been trying to buy the low sugar packs. So I struggle when it comes to breakfast. So that is something that I've been working on and know that I struggle with. So even just being aware of what you struggle with and just being more mindful of that and paying attention to the areas that you want to improve when it comes to your relationship with food. I know that when I'm bored, I crave junk food. I know that I love having snacks at night. Something Mark and I do together all the time is we'll watch either a movie or a show or something before bed, and I love to snack during that time. We still have junk food during that time, but it got me thinking about healthier alternatives that I could turn to. And Pinterest is my best friend when it comes to meal planning, when it comes to snacks, things like that. So I'm going to be searching for healthier snack foods that I could have at night before bed when Mark and I are watching something to wind down from the day. And we don't do this every day. I'm not having snacks every single night, but I would say once a week, maybe twice a week that we watch something together and we have a snack. So I'm going to be looking at healthier snacks. So one thing I do is just to not have junk food in the house. We don't buy any cookies, cakes, junk, anything unless I'm PMSing or something. Because I know my pattern, I know the cycle, I'll buy junk food or chips or cake, whatever. I'll eat it all in 1 or 2 sittings. I'll feel gross. I'll feel crappy. I'll get a headache. I'll get a stomach ache. And then I'll have some sort of guilt for eating it, or I'll have this like self-blame for eating it. And then I get down on myself for not having more self-control. So it's a vicious cycle. So one thing I do to break that cycle is just to not have junk food in the house. I make a grocery list, I meal plan, I stick to the grocery list, and it's easier to stick to because I order online. So I'm not in the store grabbing things. I put in my grocery list online, and then Mark goes and picks up our order. So that makes it a lot easier to limit the junk that I have in the house. I've really been focusing on not eating just to eat. I'll eat when I'm hungry, and then when I'm hungry, I've been trying to remind myself that it's okay not to finish that portion. I can wrap it, take it home if I'm eating out. So that's something I've been working on and actually doing really well with. I've been trying to slow down and paying attention to when I'm full, and I'll stop and I'll take a break and try to pay more attention and be more in tune with my body. So during the break, I will just wait, I'll drink some water or whatever, and I'll try to pay attention to, am I still hungry or am I gonna wrap this up? As I said, I meal prep for work, and I've been packing myself smaller portions because I would pack a big Tupperware of whatever I bring for lunch and I would eat all of it. And I realized that I was packing really big portions for myself, and that is just not necessary. So now I pack smaller portions, and if I'm still hungry, I have plenty of snacks at work, so that is totally fine and nothing to be stressed about. Something also with my blood sugar and my headaches is that if I don't have enough sugar, if I don't eat and I get very hungry, I get very physically sick. I get headaches, I get stomach aches, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. So that's something I get anxious about. I just really hate that feeling. I don't like feeling sick when I'm out. So I always make sure that I keep a granola bar or something in my purse, and I keep plenty of snacks at work. So I think a part of why I was eating a lot is because of this almost fear that I have of feeling physically sick from being hungry. So now I just make sure that I keep snacks on me, which has really been helping. I've actually really enjoyed this process of becoming more mindful while I'm eating. And again, there are areas of which that I want to improve upon, which I've mentioned, and there's areas where I'm actually doing really well and have been feeling much better. And again, I attribute this to my podcast and the amazing guests that I've had, where we've talked about eating disorders, disordered eating, and just our relationships with food in general. So I have interviewed quite a few women about this topic, and you could find those interviews on episodes 17, 20, 51, 65, 85, and 94. So if you're interested in learning more about relationships with food, what you can do to improve your relationship with food, become more mindful of your eating, have a healthier relationship with food, I definitely recommend listening to these episodes because they are so valuable and these women give so many amazing tips and insight and guidance. I will list all of those episode links in the show notes so that you can go check them out. Thank you so much for being here today and tuning in. If you aren't already, make sure you go and join my Facebook group. I'm in there pretty much daily, and that is facebook.com/groups/according to Des, and that link will be in the show notes as well. So make sure you hop in there and join me. You could also follow me on Instagram at The Wellness Project with Des, and there's periods in between each word. And make sure, if you haven't already, go and download the 7-Day Gratitude Journal because that is the freebie I've been offering for a long time. And if you don't have it already, go make sure you download that because I am retiring it soon and I have a whole new freebie coming out for you, which I'm really excited about. So you don't have too long to get that freebie. I am retiring it, so make sure you download it right away. It's your own free 7-Day Gratitude Journal. And once you download it, it's yours and you can print it as many times as you want. I hope you have an amazing week. I will see you next week. I do not have a guest next week either, and I will be talking about minimalism. So if you are interested in minimalism, tune in next week. I will see you then.